Today, we are talking about living today. Living today. And I also want to encourage you, particularly for next month's Let's Talk, please come in with writing materials. You are going to carry out an exercise, and it's something you have to keep. So come in with your writing materials, either with a book or with sheets of papers. We'll make sheets of papers available as well if you don't want to come with the item, because we're going to do some exercises. So living today. What does it look like to you? Living today, it could mean different things. What does it mean to you? For those of you who are here for the first time, this is Let's Talk, so I'm not the only one that talks. Everybody talks. So if you want to talk, please talk. What does it mean to you? Living today, how do you view it? How do you see it? Yeah? Like living right today. Okay? That's one. Pardon? Living a good life. Okay. Any other person having given any thought to it at all? We have multifaceted challenges. And how do we approach them? Okay? Yes?
I want to believe that living today, I'm taking it from the perspective of choice.
Of choice?
Yes.
Okay.
The choice you make, because we are really living in a perilous time where so many things are going bad in the world. So the choice you make determines the kind of life you live.
Okay. Living today is looking at it in the perspective of choice, that even to live a good life depends on the choices you make. That is the choices you make that gives you access to good life or bad life. Okay. Let's look at what we should be expecting here today. We're all going to read together. 1, 2, go. 1. To challenge and encourage you on the need to locate your place of relevance. 2. To identify what you must do to be relevant in your world. 3. To destroy the foundation of fear and anxiety in our lives. And 5. To seek the help of God in prayer. So we are not just going to talk here tonight. We are also going to pray. Because the need for prayers cannot be overemphasized. It's good we talk. When we talk, it opens us up, it opens up our understanding, it helps us to be ready. It prepares us. But prayer brings in the spiritual dimension. And that is why you should not just pray when you are with people or when you are in a gathering. You should also attempt to pray on your own, because prayer helps to realize desires and purposes. First of all, we're looking at to challenge and encourage you on the need to locate your place of relevance. In this world, there is a place God has created for you where you are relevant. You are not just living or existing as a shadow. No human being is a shadow. But people can live as shadows. How? When you cannot come out, or you must always walk through somebody. You want something, you cannot get it by yourself, you beg her, can you please help me to do this? You can't do it. You don't want people to see you. You always live in the shadow of another person. You are not confident of yourself. God did not create anybody to live in the shadows. He created all to be who they ought to be. And so, we want to encourage ourselves tonight to understand that you are not just anybody. You are somebody created by God specifically for specific things. For you to be relevant wherever you are. In your office, you must be relevant there. In the family where you come from, you must be relevant there. Among your colleagues, among your friends, you must be relevant there. You see, if we have friends that all we sit down to do is just talk, then there is no friendship. Because if all we do is just talk, there is no sense in what we are saying. We are not talking about things that will advance our causes. We are not talking about things that will bring promotion into our lives. All we are busy talking about is, well, maybe I should use the word gossip. Because some gossip are also good. Positive gossip. So, we need to be relevant. There is the need for it. Particularly in our environment, in Africa. You know, sometimes I keep wondering whether it is our color that makes us the way we are, or is the environment, or is the cause, or all. And when I look at it deeply, I think it's everything. Now, I've met black people who are not Africans, but who live in America, who live in Southern America. Particularly if you go to the Southern American states, the way those nations are, the way they behave, is the way we behave in Africa. There's no difference. The way the government runs is the way we run our governments in Africa. The things God has given them to benefit people, they misuse it and abuse it. So, and that's where I'm beginning to draw the conclusion that it's also about color. Someone disagrees with me. No, please do. It's probably also a cause. But if it's a cause, the cause can be broken. If it's about color, we cannot change color. If it's about location, we can change location. So don't think you can go and bleach to change your color. No, that's not what we are talking about. You can't change the color. If it's about cause, I was engaged with some Bible scholars in a discussion, and we're looking at the three children of Noah. I'm sure some of you have read that story before. When the first child came in and saw the father was drunk and naked, and he was mocking the father, he went and called the two brothers. Come and see your father, he's drunk, lying down, naked. The two brothers came in with their bag and with a wrapper. They did not look at their father's nakedness, they covered him. And when the father came to realize himself, he blessed those two and cursed the other one. And that other one was a black man. No, but in reality, when you read that story and you look at the curses that were placed on him, on her, he said, you will be a servant to your two brothers. You will live always in their shadows. Whatever we have, we are using it to serve some people. It's not serving us. So if it's a cause, it may not be broken nationally, but it can be broken individually in your life. And that is why you need to come to the understanding of you finding your place of relevance. And not just live or dwell in the shadow of anybody or any organization. And two, we said to identify what must be done, what you have to do to make you relevant in your world. And three, to destroy the foundation of fear and anxiety in our lives. I'm sure there's nobody here that will not go through fear and anxiety. There's this great saying that danger is real, but fear is a choice. What you see, the danger you see that creates fear in you, somebody else will see and say it's nothing. So you have a choice to fear or not to fear. You cannot stop fear from coming, but you have a choice not to submit to it. So tonight, by God's grace, through some of the things we'll be seeing, I'm trusting God, having spent time with God on everyone that is here tonight, trusting God that you are not leaving this place with your fears and anxiety, in the name of Jesus. Let's look at these two scriptures. I'll just read them to us. Revelation 1, verse 8. Jesus says, or the Bible says rather, I am the Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the ending, saith the Lord. Yes, any other?
Well, alive is having life. Living is maintaining that life.
Thank you very much, everyone who has contributed. Let's put our hands together. You have all said well. Every contribution is quite right and correct. To be alive is just existing. But when you are living, you move beyond the realm of existence to being fulfilling desires, fulfilling purposes, and advancing the cause of others. Every living thing is a supplier of life. But things that are existing may not give life to others, but they exist for themselves. But when you live, you are not just alive, but you are also a source or an inspiration of life. And that's the point that everybody has tried to make. So there is a big difference between being alive and living. That is why we are looking at living today. Living today. So we are not talking about being alive today. And that's why Revelation chapter 1 verse 8, it says, which is, that means he's what? He is living continuously. Not Jesus that is alive today or alive yesterday. He is, he was, and he will be forever. So he spans all forms of existence. The remaining few slides, I want you to key your attention to the things that will be unraveling by the help of the Holy Spirit. What is living today? Go on. 1 is the consciousness of your existence in this life. Now the words here are carefully crafted and chosen. Talks about consciousness. That means you are actively involved. You are not a passive person. You are actively involved. You are maintaining a touch in whatever is happening. It's the consciousness of your existence in this life. To live and walk in the light of God. Now look at the word existence there. Existence there is alive. But taking it beyond that point is a consciousness that you are alive. And not just that you are alive, but now you want to live and walk in the light of God. It is not every person that is successful in the things of this world that is living. There are many successful people, but who have bad stories they can't tell. There are many successful people who have hurts they are nursing. There was this news that was making the rounds in Geneva some few months back. Oprah Winfrey went to a shop, a high-end shop, and she looked at the bag. The bag is worth $35,000 US. And she said, "Hey, can you bring that bag for me?" And the shopkeeper said, "It's not for you, ma'am. Please, you can try another shop." Not knowing who she was. That was an experience that she cannot forget, because her money was rubbish. Although reports started carrying it that maybe it's racism because she's black and all that, or if it has been a white lady that entered that shop, they would have been running up and down over her. But whatever the case may be. So there is a path where God's light shines on. And it's not every path. It is not every way. But there is a way for you that the light of God is shining on. And that is the path we want to live and walk in. That is living today. God does not have darkness, that He does not have night, neither does He have day. How many people know that? That with God there is no day or night. Day and night is created for us here. When we are saying day, God is saying day. When we are saying night, what is He saying? It's day. When we are saying morning, what is He saying? It is day. So to God, every day is what? Is today. In God's consciousness, in God's history, in God's way, every day is today. When God says today, to you, it may mean 5 years. And so sometimes we fret over promises that takes time. Sometimes we fret because age is not on our side. We say, I'm getting old. Am I saying something that some people can connect? Huh? You say, I'm getting old. With God, how old are you? What age? What is that age that you are counting? I'm getting old. With God. And for that reason, many of us are not patient with God. Because when God says tomorrow, He's talking about your own tomorrow, not His own tomorrow. Because He does not have a tomorrow. And that tomorrow that he's talking about can take many nights and days before it is fulfilled. But to him, it is a day. When we have this understanding, it will make us to be patient, particularly for some of us who have received a promise from God. When God says, I will do something for you. Before I got married, God gave me a promise concerning my wife. And I told her that at a point in our lives, this is what is going to happen, this is what will happen to you. And she was like, well, as long as it's from God, I'm all for it. I'll be 25 years in marriage this year. And what came before I got married over 25 years ago just happened this year. How many people can wait that long? That you will not have thrown off and say, this thing can never be. After having waited for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, I'm sure with this generation, this fast jet age that we are in, to wait is a big problem. In fact, when you tell a young man, wait for me 10 minutes, I'm coming. In 5 minutes, he's saying, I don't think this man is coming again, let me leave. He's on his way. But tell an adult, wait for me 10 minutes, I'm coming. He's ready to wait 20 minutes. Maybe we don't understand that there is, in patience, there is great virtue. When you are patient, it is hard to make mistake. Not that you can't make mistake, but it is very, very hard because you will have considered all options. But we rush to take decisions. We rush to marry. We rush to have children. We rush to finish school. And above all, we are rushing to get money. And there's no amount of rushing you give money. If it will come, it will come.